What's up, guys? I'm going to tell you something that happened earlier today. So I'm hungry. I get something to eat, and I leave kind of the area that where I got my food, and I'm at this red light, right? And my car has this stupid option where, depending on the setting that I have, if I'm at a red light, the engine just cuts off, and it does that just to conserve gas, right? Um, but it doesn't get activated if I'm in sport mode, and I'm usually in sport mode whenever I'm leaving somewhere, just so I can, it's just super fast. It's like lightning mode. Um, so I'm at this red light, and for some reason, I just peek over to my rear view and I see someone pulling up behind me, and I'm waiting, and suddenly, boom. And I'm like, did my car just shut off with the little auto? And then I look at the dash and it has S for sport, and I'm like, no. So I look in my rear view, and the woman that's behind me looks like she's fidgeting through a bag. And I'm just like, I think this lady hit me. So I put it in park, and I get out of my car and I walk to the back. She's still not even realizing and noticing what just happened. So I look, and dude, her car is still on my bumper. And I turn to her, and she's still head in a bag. And I'm just like, you just hit me. And she's like, what? And dude, I was just like, put your car in reverse. You just hit me. So she's like, oh, she kind of comes to, and she goes in reverse, and she rolls down the window, and she's like, okay, yo, legit, gives me a very nonchalant, like, what, okay. And I was just like, are you crazy right now? I'm like, do you realize that you're driving? Pay attention. When you're driving, stop looking through your bag. What are you talking about? Yeah, I I looked through my rear view. You were looking at your bag. I got out of my car, looked, and realized you were still on my bumper. I look over at you, and you're still head down in your bag. I'm like, pay attention. So I start walking to my car because the door's wide open, and there's a guy waiting at the red light to my right, and I see him like kind of motioning, and I'm just like, what's this guy doing? Like, what is he doing? Now I'm just waiting for the red light. And he's motioning to a sheriff who's at, so my light is about to turn green. His light turned red, and they're now kind of talking, these two. And he's like, you gotta come over here. So I get out of my car and I kind of yell over to the sheriffs. I'm just like, she just hit me. And I don't know what else I said. I'm just, maybe I was just like, she hit me and she's dumb. Right. So then the sheriff is like, I'm driving over. So he puts his light on and he eats the red light, comes around, and I'm out of my car. And he's like, what happened? And I'm like, I'm sitting at this red light. All of a sudden, she hits me. I look in my rear view. I realize that she's not looking, and she doesn't realize what she just did. I get out of my car to see what damage she's done. And I look over at her so she can go into reverse, and she's still not paying attention. She still has her head in her bag. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go talk to her. You calm down. And I was just like, don't tell me to calm down. I'm calm. In my head, I'm just like, dude, I'm calm. You don't I'm crazy, dude. Like, you don't know when I'm not calm. Trust me, you know that I'm not calm. So he goes up to the woman and he's like, are you okay? And I yell over, of course she's okay. You didn't ask me if I was okay. And then he's like, let me do my job. And I'm like, go do your job then. But I'm out of my car and he's like, go sit inside your car. And I'm like, no, 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 dude. I'm upset. I'm pissed, dude. You know, like for the most part, I feel like she is at fault. And, you know, at the very least, yo, you should be giving that lady a ticket. Um, so, so he walks over to me and he is like, is there any damage? I'm like, yeah, there's damage. And he's like, I don't see it. And I walk over and the bolts that were holding in her license plate dug um into my bumper just enough where I know my car like the back of my hand. And I don't, I live in upstate New York. Like, dude, there is no parallel parking. No one will ever hit your bumper because that kind of parking doesn't exist. It does, but of course, so I look and I'm just like, you see this right here? It matches up with her license plate because I was standing here when she went into reverse. And he's like, well, I don't see it. And I said, because you're 20 feet away, why don't you walk over here and take a look so you can see exactly what damage she did? And he walks over now I'm kind of like, and he's like, oh, is this your car? Yeah, it's my car. And my license plate is photographer. And he's like, oh, photographer? Do you own a business? And I'm like, yeah, I own a business in this town for 15 years. And I just want to let him know, like, dude, don't ask me if this is my car. Fuck you. Yeah, this is my fucking car. And dude, I mean, I'm like the only Hispanic, in this whole area. So of course he has to contend with the only Hispanic in this area who's giving him an attitude. And I don't care, dude. I'm from Brooklyn. You're a police officer, dude. You're better off being on my side than being against me because I'll drive you crazy. Like legit will drive you crazy. Uh, so he's just like, did you want me to take a report? And I'm like, do you feel like taking a report? And he looks at me, but he gives me a look like, yo, like, like he's just like, why is this guy being a jerk? And I'm not, but I'm just like he kind of asked me a few too many questions for someone that's just like, did she hit you hard enough that you feel that you're going to have some kind of a back issue later? And the answer would have been no, but it would have been nicer if he had asked me something like that, considering the fact that I'm the one that was violated by this woman's vehicle as she's looking for her, certs in her bag. So, so I'm just like, nah, dude, I'm fine. And he's like, all right. So he walks over to the lady and he's like, listen, you should really pay attention because if what he's saying is correct, that he saw you in your bag and you didn't even notice that you had hit someone, then you should probably pay more attention than you have, especially when all you have to do at a red light is hold on to the brake. And she's like, oh no, I'm sorry. If I hit someone, the first thing out of my mouth is, dude, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Like, I'm out of the car before anyone else gets out of the car and realizes that I just don't care. Um, so the police officer walks over to me and he's just like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And I literally just get in my car, light turns green, and I start to go. So I have to turn left. So as I turn left, he ended up going around because there was kind of like a quick little wraparound. So now we're almost at this one spot where I basically pass him on the other side. And bro, you see how I'm laying down right now? Yo, this is how I drive in my car. Even like when I get my car washed, I'll tell dudes like, yo, you can fix my seat because I know I drive like I'm an 8.5 foot tall guy, like super far back and reclined. So like I'm all gangstered out, dude. Like I have my hand, right top, center, and I see him coming and I just look right over at him and I go like this. just to antagonize him. But keep in mind, like, dude, like I have so many friends that are police officers, tons. You know, I have friends that are like, if you ever get pulled over, once you see the lights, the first thing you should do is dial my number. I probably have 9 dudes who are all local sheriff, state police officers, local police officers, you know, and so I'm not, I'm kind of like, I know that I could just call like 10 guys and just be like, dude, here's my phone, big guy, you know, here's my phone. Just, talk to my boy who's probably been a sheriff deputy longer than you've been, since you were in middle school. So, so now I take off and I realize like, yo, like I kind of flexed, right? What's up? What's up, dude? I don't care if you have a badge, but I was always that kid. Like, yo, if you're a police officer, it wasn't until I was an adult that I kind of, started to respect them. But when I was a kid, I was just like, dude, I remember being a kid and getting pulled, a police officer pulling over and frisking me. And I'm just like, what's your name? What's your badge? Because I'm going to file a complaint. I'm going to have my parents at your precinct later tonight to find out why you frisked their son while he's skateboarding. Okay? And, I was just that kid. Like, cops in New York City in the 80s were not the guys that you trusted. So, so now I'm just like, I flexed on this dude. And I realized that if he wanted to be a jerk, he could. I mean, of course, I can call people immediately. So I start to duck out and I turn this corner, I fly, I rip up this one street, turn the corner again. I rip through the next 2 streets. Then I turn right and then I go to get my car washed. And I'm just like, all right, I need to duck in here really quick because I know the guys that all work this. I'm just like, Bobby, what's going on? And I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to get out of I'm trying to lose the cops. He's just like, okay, boop, he flags. He's just like, go. I just fucking, I turn the corner, I get my car washed. I come out and I'm just like, where's that police? Where's that sheriff? Is he around here? He's not. And so that was my exciting adventure today through upstate New York. So anyway, all right, guys. Listen, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. I felt like, some of you guys, dude, are legit like family. So I'm just like, let me just go ahead and share this craziness that I went through today. So guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe subscribe when you get the chance. What else? Someone is selling a Soldano Avenger, and I'm thinking about getting it, considering it. Let's see. But he sent me a video clip of him playing it, and I'm like, it has that Soldano like punch. So I have to, maybe I'll do that. So, but guys, hey, listen, it's Friday night. My watch stopped. Jesus Christmas, so I don't even know what time it is. But have an absolutely amazing night. Have a great weekend with your friends and family, and I will talk to you guys soon.